All right, today I got something brand new for you, and you're going to want to see it. It's brand new craft slash piece of art using a photograph and a canvas. Gonna want to see this. Stick around. Here's the intro.
The singing crafty crafter, creating once again. Pick a favorite photo, a blank canvas. Now let's create.
Ready for your song? Desmond has a barrow in the marketplace. Molly is a singer in a band. Desmond says to Molly, girl, I like your face. And Molly says it says she takes him by the hand. Ready? Oh, blah dee, oh, blah da, life goes on. Whoa, la 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 la, life goes on. Oh, blah dee, oh, blah da, life goes on. Yeah, la 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 la, life goes on. Okay, you probably know who sings that. But if you don't, you got to stick around because somewhere in this video, I'm going to give you some trivia on that song, which is very interesting. Okay, now let's get right into what I've made for you today. Here we go. All right, so this is a picture of my great-grandson. How cute is he? And I decided I was going to take this and have some fun with it and try something a little bit different. So first I'm going to sort of cut the image out, but not like right up to him. I want some of the background to exist because of what I'm going to do here. So I'm ripping, and the reason I'm ripping is I just like that look of it. I don't want clean edges. I want more of a blur into the canvas. And then I ripped off the back. Like there's like a plastic backing on the back of photos, but I'm going to glue this down, so I don't need that. And then once I sort of like, okay, that's good. I do take my scissors and sort of rough up the edges a little bit more, but I don't video that. I'm sorry, but I just rub them along the sides. Now I'm going to glue it down, and just white glue will do. I'm going to, in the end, I'll cover the whole thing in Mod Podge. So I'm just going to put this glue on and put it down, basically centering him in the middle of the canvas. But of course, you could offset as well. But for this particular thing, again, this is the first time I'm doing something like this, so I was just going with it. Gonna create and see what comes up. All right, I did let this dry for a little bit because I wanted to make sure that it was good and down on the canvas. And I turned it over and actually put some weights on it. All right, now that I have these random little pieces, like there's a piece of jewelry. It's got some diamonds and stuff in it, fake, a pearl, an old little miniature light bulb. And I took all the bits out of the piece of jewelry so that I could use them on my canvas, and you'll see why here in a minute. Now these are watercolors that I just recently bought at the Dollar Tree, and I'm trying it on the back, like how blue is this blue going to be and how thick, and these are not top grade watercolors, but they're going to work just perfect. So the first thing I'm going to do is just wash this background in a blue, and I have a thing of water there that I'm dumping my brush in and out of. And if you've never used watercolors, don't be afraid of them. They're really quite cool because they blend. You can change them, you can remove them, you can add to them. I don't use them very often, but because I'm in the RV and I don't have my crafting things, I could pick this up at the Dollar Tree. And I was like, oh, that's great. I'll just have some fun with it. All right, so obviously he's in a bathtub, hence the blue. And what I'm going to do here is just sort of paint out from the photo and sort of blend it into the canvas. And you're just going to see me do that here. And this personal preference on how you would do something like this. It's funny because the water isn't actually blue in the photo, but I'm really trying to make him like stand out, and I'm going to take this photo and sort of make it a little whimsy. All right, but while I'm doing this and you're watching me paint it, I'm going to give you some trivia on Obladi, Oblada. All right, it is a song sung by who? None other than the Beatles, and it's from their 1968 double album, The Beatles, but it's also known as the White Album. And the song was written by Paul McCartney and credited to the Lennon-McCartney partnership. You know, they would write songs together. Okay, so what's interesting is that the song was issued as a single in lots of countries, but it was not issued as a single in the United States or the United Kingdom. But it topped the single charts. Listen to this: in Australia, Japan, New Zealand, Switzerland, and West Germany. And when it was belatedly issued as a single in the United States in 1976, it peaked at number 49 on the Billboard Hot 100. So in 1968, it peaked in all these other countries. And in 1976, it only got to 49 in the United States. But we all know the song. So here's a little bit more. So McCartney wrote the song in a Jamaican style. Obviously, you can tell that from it. And he appropriated a phrase popularized by Jimmy Scott, who was a London-based Nigerian musician, for the song's title and the chorus. So this Jimmy Scott would say obla di, obla da in his concerts, according to his widow, because she said that as part of his stage act with his band, he would call out obla di, and then the audience would respond with obla da, and then he would conclude, life goes on. Now, in my book, that sounds kind of stolen, right? And so in 1968, when the song was released, Scott tried to claim a writer's credit for the use of his catchphrase, but McCartney said that the phrase was just an expression, whereas Scott argued that it was a common expression. It was not a common expression, and was used exclusively by the Scott and Muper family. Okay, so this musician said that it was his family that came up with that phrase. Now, McCartney was angry because the British press sided with Scott over the issue. And according to researchers Doug and Ray, I won't say their last names, in their study of the tapes from the Beatles' filmed rehearsals at Twickenham Film Studios in January 1969, McCartney complained bitterly to his bandmates about Scott's claim that he stole the phrase. Now, later in 1969, this Scott ended up in prison. And while he was awaiting trial for failing to pay maintenance to his ex-wife, Scott sent a request to the Beatles asking them to pay his legal bills. McCartney agreed to pay the amount on the condition that Scott abandon his attempt to receive a co-writer's credit. So, I still feel like it was kind of stolen. And just another little tidbit on this song. It refers to Desmond. Desmond has a barrow in the marketplace. Well, anyway, that was a reference to a reggae singer, Desmond Dekker, who had recently toured the UK. So, interesting story, right? Anyway, but we all do know the song, obla di, obla da, life goes on. Yeah, la 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 la, life goes on. Now, here's the thing. In the final verse, McCartney made an error when he was singing, and he sings, Desmond stays at home and does his pretty face, rather than Molly, and had Molly letting the children lend a hand. So this mistake was retained because the other Beatles liked it. Also funny, I think. The end of other note, the first time the song was performed live by any of the Beatles was on December 2nd, 2009, when McCartney played in Hamburg, Germany. Isn't that interesting? And we all know the song. So, there's what I know about obla di, obla da, life goes on. Now, my craft's going to go on. Let's get back to that. All right, so we can see I've done my painting. I used a marker just to lightly etch out that tile work above him, and I've started to paint little bubbles. And now I have this interesting piece of felt, which it was whimsical. I think it looks pretty cool, almost like a wave, I guess. Maybe not a wave. I don't know. I just thought it looked pretty cool. And so I'm going to add this onto my picture here. Again, I'm actually using material glue, but white glue would do. I just didn't happen to have any on me. So I'm going to lay this down. And then I'm just going to finish this off by adding more paint in and adding my baubles and my light bulb and my pearls and the things that I sort of collected to put on there. You can see I already have a little sparkly diamond thing on there. And this is all just sort of whimsical bubbles because he's in the bathtub. And I think it comes out looking really cool. So I'm going to go away and let you guys just watch me finish this because I don't think I need to explain every little step. But you can follow the process along. By the way, did you notice when I did the water? So I've sort of brought it around him like he's sitting in sort of that little blue water there. Anyway, I hope you guys love this. Oh, before I go though, I should explain this. So there's these stickers at the Dollar Tree. I just got them on clearance for 25 cents. And they were sort of round, like bubbles was the texture in them. And so I took my hole punch, but the coloring on them, that's sort of copper, there's a back to it and it peels off. So I was just punching the holes and then peeling the backing off of it so I could use those as sort of three-dimensional bubbles on there. And also works phenomenally. If I need to come back in and explain what I'm doing on any of the rest of this, I will. But for now, I'll just play a little background music for you. So here it is, all done. Oh, it's so cute, you guys. I just love this piece. I want to do more using photographs and doing art like this with it. So I did cover it in Mod Podge, so it's all really protected. And I don't think I showed this very close up there, but it's like a little sticker that says fun. I think this is just a cute little fun. I'm sorry, my lighting is so bad in here. I'm going back to Arizona. I'm grabbing some proper lighting. But anyway, and I just like sort of the whimsical sort of hanger. So it's just almost like an ornament, but nothing on the backside. But there's no reason I couldn't double side it with another canvas with another picture of him. So you got to let me know what you think of this. Now I'm going to be honest. I went looking in Pinterest for like taking photos and adding them to canvases and art. I couldn't find anything quite like this. So I don't think it's something that's, you know, widely done, but I absolutely love it. It's so whimsical. It's so fun. And now I'm thinking about all these things I want to do with pictures on a canvas and just giving it some three-dimensional and just taking it to another place. Anyway, so you gotta let me know what you think. Hope you guys like it. Like it. All right. And of course, you know, the canvas was DollarTree because like most of my supplies are DollarTree. All right, everybody, have a great day, a great week, a great life. And as always, from your singing crafty crafter, happy hunting at your local DollarTree. See you next time. Toodles.